She left, and you think words will bring her back. But here's the truth. Women don't return because you chase. They return when your silence echoes louder than your presence ever did. In this video, I'll show you the path, not to her, but to yourself. And in finding you, she just might find her way back. Welcome to the realm of Stoic love. To motivate us to make more useful videos, please subscribe to the channel and share with your friends. Remember to like and leave a comment. Whatever it is, your feedback will help us learn from you and grow. Thank. Now, let's explore the wonderful things ahead together. If you believe that pleading, justifying, or pursuing will lead to her return, you are heading directly towards an inevitable impasse. Women do not return based solely on what you say. They return when the silence of your absence resonates more profoundly than the echoes of your presence ever did. In this video, I will not be offering you shortcuts. I'm providing you with the key to truly change the course of the game. She will return, provided you approach this with the right mindset. Persevere until the conclusion. Many individuals stumble because they overlook a single crucial step. Do not allow yourself to fall into that category. First step, remove all emotional engagement. When a woman withdraws or decides to leave, many men often find themselves reacting impulsively. They pursue, rationalize, defend, or even more regrettably, plead for her focus. What they do not grasp is that emotional access holds significant value. Just as with any form of currency, when it is distributed without restraint, it diminishes in worth. It often takes witnessing her departure, seemingly indifferent to your words and efforts, to recognize the extent of the emotional power you've relinquished. In moments like these, many men tend to lose their composure and overwhelm her with excessive attention. Communications, messages, acknowledgements, detailed justifications, none of this brings her any nearer. It propels her onward. The greater the emotional exposure you allow, the more the intrigue diminishes. When there is less mystery, your significance in her emotional landscape diminishes. It's a challenge that many are unaware they are engaged in. You strive for recognition, yet she finds ease in your absence. Withdrawing emotional access is a matter of maintaining clarity and strength, not about engaging in games or manipulation. It's about taking back your dignity and mastering your emotions. Consider how monotonous it can be when you consistently appear in her inbox, when you engage with her posts, and when you reply almost instantly to her every action. Such predictability undermines allure. Emotional access represents the energy you channel towards another person, your concern, your reactions, your efforts to connect. By reclaiming everything, you forge a void she has yet to experience. In an instant, you find yourself withholding the emotional responses she has come to expect. The change in focus from her to other aspects of life resonates profoundly, transcending mere words. Women anticipate that a man will pursue them after they depart. They anticipate his surrender, his pursuit, his relentless effort. However, when you choose to refrain from investing your emotional energy, you immediately alter the dynamic. You change the narrative silently. And this is what many fail to understand. Withdrawing emotional access is not an act of anger or a means to sever ties. It is a deliberate choice to maintain composure and clarity. That remains a response. And responses are still tied to emotional investments. Genuine withdrawal embodies tranquility, composure, and a sense of detachment. One does not proclaim it. It's not presented as a declaration. Detach yourself from the emotional aspects of the situation. you cease to nourish the bond with your vitality. Cease the habit of monitoring her status. Refrain from viewing her stories. Hold back from liking her photos, and resist the impulse to text when the urge arises. Each moment you restrain yourself, you relinquish a fragment of your strength. Each moment you choose not to react, you strengthen your foundation. Emotional withdrawal speaks in silence. It is a calm and steadfast decision to not engage in the expectations she has set for you. It allows her to experience the void of your presence in a realm that seeks incessant affirmation and focus. She may not perceive it right away, and therein lies the common pitfall for many men. They seek immediate outcomes. They falter when her return is not immediate. True strength lies in maintaining your composure, allowing your emotional stillness to resonate more profoundly than words ever could. Phase 2. Command your presence. Embrace tranquility, maintain composure, and sharpen your focus. Mastering your presence involves embracing authenticity rather than feigning indifference or manufacturing a false sense of confidence. It involves cultivating a mindset that remains steadfast, regardless of external situations that you cannot influence. Many individuals tend to respond hastily when confronted with emotional upheaval, particularly in their relationships. They permit their self-esteem to be influenced by a woman's behavior, her emotions, her quietness, her distance. This reactive mindset reveals a lack of emotional resilience and fosters dependence. A man who lacks control over his presence functions like an open book, transparent, predictable, and regrettably often overlooked. When you embody calmness and focus, you alter the power dynamic in your favor without uttering a single word. The composed individual remains unaffected by emotional manipulation, stands firm under pressure, and refrains from seeking approval through pursuit. His mere existence stands as a quiet testament to his confidence, earning him respect and attention, even from those who previously questioned him. True presence transcends mere physical appearance or surface-level confidence. The essence of your presence is revealed in the energy you bring into a space, in your interactions, and even in your moments of quietude. A person who possesses true presence requires no excessive explanation or validation of their stance. His composed presence conveys much more than words ever could. He engages in deep listening, prioritizing observation over impulsive reactions. When he chooses to speak or act, each decision is deliberate and purposeful. Women recognize this type of presence not due to its volume, but because it is uncommon. In a world where many falter at the first hint of emotional unease, the individual who maintains his poise shines with remarkable clarity. His absence of dependence, his steadfastness in avoiding emotional turmoil, presents him as composed and in command. This kind of calm focus arises not from arrogance. It arises from a profound self-awareness and a steadfast resolve to ensure that fleeting feelings do not govern lasting choices. To command your presence, you must first gain control over your internal dialogue. The narratives you create in moments of distance, neglect, or rejection can either fortify your spirit or lead to your downfall. A man with clarity reshapes those stories. Rather than dwelling on the question of why she departed, he reminds himself, her decisions belong to her. My focus is on my response. This transformation is not instantaneous. However, through persistent effort, it fundamentally alters your approach to emotional circumstances. When your mind remains calm, your actions will align accordingly. Focus on investing in yourself, your purpose, your growth, and your mission, rather than fixating on what lies beyond your control. Concentration fosters understanding, and understanding enhances your awareness. You cease to act from a place of fear or desperation, understanding that your worth is not contingent upon the approval of others. You transform into an individual who remains unshaken by emotions, who stands firm in the face of pressure, and who embodies a quiet confidence that resonates more profoundly than any proclamation. Step 3. Focus your energy on your own development. When a woman departs, many men instinctively redirect their focus towards mending the circumstances, addressing her emotions, or transforming themselves in hopes of regaining her affection. They become entangled in an emotional pursuit, dissecting each word she uttered, monitoring her social media presence, or seeking counsel on how to alter her perspective. What they fail to see is that this whole cycle is anchored in a profound yearning for external approval. They are surrendering their self-worth to another, believing that by acting or speaking correctly, they might be selected once more. This perspective only drives her further away, as it reveals a deep-seated insecurity. The reality is, there is nothing more unappealing than an individual who has abandoned his core and seeks another to restore it for him. The dynamics shift profoundly when an individual chooses to redirect the energy he expends externally and focus it inward, honing his personal development, cultivating discipline, and pursuing his purpose. That transformation redefines the story from a man in pursuit of validation to a man forging his own path, becoming someone who stands independent of it. Shifting your focus to personal development is not about improving for someone else. It's about enhancing yourself for your own sake. It is a choice to transcend emotional reliance and begin the journey of self-improvement. Begin by evaluating the aspects of your life that have been overlooked: your well-being, your professional path, your mental state, and your sense of purpose. Perhaps you have found yourself lacking in physical discipline, experiencing a decline in mental sharpness, or wandering aimlessly without defined objectives. It is essential to take action and change that pattern now. Redirect every bit of energy that might have been spent on checking her status or pondering her thoughts into the pursuit of becoming a more resilient and improved version of yourself. Return to the gym, not driven by the desire for revenge, but as a testament to your commitment to discipline. Engage in reading, absorb knowledge, and cultivate your intellect, not for the sake of others, but to refine your own understanding. Establish objectives for your career or personal endeavors that compel you to transcend your comfort zone. The individual who dedicates himself to self-improvement with unwavering commitment exudes a natural magnetism, as personal growth transforms not only one's appearance, but also the way one presents oneself to the world. As you shift your focus, you also release your attachment to the outcome with her. You cease your efforts to reclaim her and begin the journey of reclaiming yourself. This brings about a change in energy that she cannot overlook. Women are attracted to men who are active, engaged in meaningful pursuits, anchored in their goals, and undisturbed by outside chaos. When you concentrate on self-improvement, your emotional landscape finds balance, and from that balance emerges a sense of confidence. You cease the pursuit of closure or the need for explanations, understanding that such matters do not determine your worth. Your path of development creates a quiet but unmistakable impact. The paradox lies in the fact that when you cease to place her at the core of your existence, it is often then that she begins to take notice of your life more than ever. However, by that time, you will have realized that your value was never dependent on her recognition to begin with. Phase 4. Allow silence to serve as your most powerful expression. Silence is frequently misinterpreted by individuals as inaction, as though remaining quiet equates to conceding defeat or relinquishing authority over the circumstances. In truth, Silence stands as one of the most formidable means of communication at your disposal, particularly within the realm of relationships. When a woman creates distance or challenges your boundaries, your natural response may be to explain, defend, or justify your position. You seek to convey your emotions, to express the depth of your care, and to illustrate why change is necessary. In those moments, your words may go unheard, as her emotions are not prepared to absorb your explanations. Silence possesses a depth that words alone cannot convey. It interrupts the rhythm she anticipates from you. Rather than allowing impulse to dictate your actions, you exercise self-control. Rather than offering explanations, you embrace tranquility. This is not a silence that stems from fear or confusion. It is a deliberate stillness, a mindful decision to allow your restraint to convey the depth of your self-worth and mastery over your emotions. By mastering the art of silence, you free yourself from the struggles of emotional conflict. You cease to engage in disputes, avoid attention-seeking actions, and disregard manipulative strategies. Silence is not a weapon wielded in malice or resentment. It involves establishing a boundary without the necessity of justification. I refuse to engage with any energy that disrupts my tranquility. In emotionally charged situations, it is common for individuals, particularly women, to anticipate that men will strive for attention, to beg, or to justify their actions. They anticipate your entry into the emotional battleground, seeking affirmation of their strength through your reactions. Your silence diminishes that power without escalating the situation further. It compels the other individual to confront their own reflections rather than directing their attention towards your responses. It creates an opportunity for contemplation, for understanding, for the expansion of inquiry. The mind tends to focus on what is lacking. In moments of silence, your absence resonates more profoundly than any display of emotion ever might. Silence serves as a shield for your dignity in times when speaking might reveal vulnerability or desperation. At times, the most effective strategy in a conflict is to refrain from participating in it entirely. By holding back the impulse to react, you demonstrate a degree of self-control that many never attain. You transform into an individual who remains unshaken by passing feelings or stirred by momentary circumstances. Such discipline is uncommon and commands profound respect, even if it goes unrecognized at first. The effects of your silence may not be immediately apparent, and this is where many falter in their resolve. They shatter their tranquility prematurely, seeking a response, yearning for transformation. However, silence yields results over time, not according to your immediate expectations. It unfolds gradually, establishing an environment that compels the other individual to recognize the change in interaction. Though words may be contended, distorted, or disregarded, silence remains an unassailable truth that cannot be contested. It challenges them with the unexpected reality of your absence, your tranquility, and your refusal to engage in a struggle for what no longer benefits you. Step 5. Allow her to experience the void, rather than pursuing to close it. Many individuals, when faced with a woman distancing herself or withdrawing, often feel the urge to hastily bridge the divide. They extend their hands, they implore, they strive to mend what is broken. They hurl words at the situation, seeking to find something that resonates, believing their efforts might sway her perspective. What they overlook is that in their pursuit to bridge the gap, they inadvertently diminish their worth in her perception. They reveal that their fear of distance outweighs their self-respect. Such fear-driven actions only serve to distance her further, reinforcing her belief that she possesses all the control. When you attempt to bridge the void she has left, you risk becoming predictable, readily accessible, and emotionally reliant. You affirm her choice to distance herself, as it is clear that you struggle to maintain your own stability in her absence. The irony lies in the fact that many believe this pursuit will bring her back, yet it only reinforces her choice to remain away. The strength lies not in bridging the distance, but in allowing her to experience it. Space is not an adversary. It is your greatest ally, provided you understand how to wield it effectively. By refraining from pursuit and permitting space to remain unaltered, you convey a profound message that resonates more powerfully than any spoken words. You demonstrate your ease within your own realm, regardless of her decision to remain outside of it. You are not using silence as a means to punish her or withdrawing to influence her feelings. You are choosing to maintain your self-worth by not seeking validation or trying to impose a connection that requires distance. This method completely changes the narrative. You transition from a state of desperation to one of understanding, recognizing that certain voids must exist for the other person to truly grasp what has been lost. The lack of your energy, focus, and presence serves as a reflection for her, revealing precisely what she once overlooked. Granting her the opportunity to experience the void enables her to confront reality on her own terms, free from your influence. By consistently being present and extending your hand, you inadvertently protect her from fully confronting the repercussions of her choices. She remains unburdened by the absence of your presence, as you consistently deny her the opportunity to long for you. When you take a step back, fully, quietly, and with confidence, you create a void, and human nature is inherently averse to emptiness. The mind begins to drift, the heart seeks understanding, and the thirst for knowledge intensifies. She might not grasp it right away, but as time passes, the distance you provided starts to communicate with her in ways your words never can. In that quietude, in that space apart, she experiences a glimpse of existence devoid of your constant presence. Should there have been a genuine bond from the start, the gravity of that distance will naturally draw her focus back to you, far more effectively than any pursuit could achieve. Allowing the gap to remain is a challenge to your discipline, your self-worth, and your comprehension of true strength in relationships. Step 6. Give her the space to cultivate curiosity, rather than relying on your words. Many individuals hastily seek to fill the quiet with justifications, comfort, or frantic efforts to mend what appears flawed. They hold the notion that by uttering the correct phrases, conveying the appropriate message, or articulating their emotions flawlessly, she will inevitably experience a shift in her feelings. What they overlook is that words, particularly when uttered prematurely or excessively, diminish their significance completely. The more you elaborate, the less she comprehends. The harder you push, the stronger her resistance becomes. As you pursue her with your words, she will only pull away further emotionally. Words find their way to her only when she is prepared to receive them. In moments when emotions run high or distance feels recent, she is often far from prepared to listen to you. That is precisely why permitting time to operate in your favor is a strategy that many overlook. They believe that inaction equates to defeat. In truth, exercising patience stands as the most formidable approach when a woman distances herself. Time accomplishes what words are incapable of achieving. It fosters a sense of inquiry. When you cease communication, withdraw your efforts, and relinquish control over how she views you, you create a vast expanse for her thoughts to roam freely. This is the moment when true power transitions occur. The human mind inherently seeks to complete what is missing. When you withdraw entirely and provide her with no cues, no responses, and no explanations, her curiosity starts to develop independently. She begins to contemplate the reasons behind your silence, questioning why you no longer pursue her attention, and pondering how you appear so composed without her presence in your life. The initial spark of curiosity often emerges quietly, perhaps as a fleeting thought or an unexpected moment of reflection about oneself. However, with the passage of time, if you practice silence and patience, that curiosity will deepen. A fleeting thought evolves into a persistent inquiry. Curiosity is a force she cultivates from within, rendering it far more potent than any words you might offer. Allowing time to unfold reveals a quality that many lack: the ability to maintain emotional composure. It demonstrates your strength, your emotional resilience, and your self-respect by not seeking validation from others. It conveys to her, silently, that you are a man who recognizes that genuine attraction cannot be compelled. You permit the quiet and the space to convey your message. You have faith in the journey, understanding that if a genuine bond exists, curiosity will draw her back with a force greater than any spoken words. In the interim, you are not pausing for her return to progress in your life. You are forging your character, diligently pursuing your development, and remaining steadfast in your journey. The irony lies in the fact that the less effort you put into piquing her curiosity, the more intrigued she becomes. Time becomes your silent ally, stretching the distance between you just enough for her to start missing what she once had, without you lifting a finger or speaking a single word. Ultimately, it is straightforward. Women return not due to persuasion. They return when your absence compels them to recognize the significance of your presence. Cease the pursuit, refrain from justifying, and avoid engaging in conflicts that call for your quietude rather than your speech. Refrain from granting your emotions influence. Embrace the strength of your composed demeanor. Channel your energy towards your personal development. Allow your quietude to convey your message. Let her recognize the absence you once occupied, and trust that time, rather than urgency, will rekindle her interest in you. This does not constitute a strategy. This exemplifies the embodiment of self-respect. Become the person she recalls, not for your presence, but for your unwavering resolve to step away when necessary and truly embody that decision. If these words echo your truth, write this in the comments. I begin my journey. I read everyone, and I walk this path with you. Subscribe, because the stories we've yet to tell are the ones that change us most. What did you think of the video? Be sure to give it a thumbs up and drop a comment to share if you journeyed all the way to the end of the video. Simply utter those words, and I'll understand that this video made a difference for you. Thank you kindly, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more captivating tales like this one. I've set aside a few of our videos that will be quite beneficial for you. They appear before our eyes, alive on the screen,